Well, you like collecting only yellow gummy bears and taking them to gas stations. No, that's not at all something you do.
I
but...
think it's a healthy hobby to have.
Hey, you, welcome back.
Hi again. We missed you.
We missed you so much. Welcome back to Gaming to Know You, the show about friends and games. Friends and games, games and friends, game friends, friend games.
Dude, how'd that clam get up here? Nowhere near the fucking sea.
I think he can jump an infinite height so long as he opens his mouth wide enough.
Dude, wouldn't it be weird if clams were like that?
Like if they just had any jumping capacity.
They just open their mouth and just jump at you.
Like if he goes all the way back and like slaps back shut, he would go into the sun. Because his jump is entirely based around his mouth opening.
Then he jumps.
I want to know how audible that was that you opened your mouth. It probably was pretty audible, but for a second there, it probably was, people were just like, "Why'd you gasp?"
Oh, do you turn into anything on this level?
No, not on this one.
Okay.
It's actually not on a lot of levels.
I remember, was the carnival one too?
Yeah, that's Tui. That's my favorite one in Tui, I think.
That's a pretty good one. I distinctly remember it.
Yeah. I forgot to get the spring jump before I came up here.
Oh, God. Oh. Dude,
Oh!
that was awesome.
I'm proud of that.
I thought you were going to die.
I did too. Believe me, terror was in my heart, and not a lot else.
Not a lot else. Only terror.
Only.
Oh, God, dude, these clams are everywhere. It's a real catastrophe.
It's a real clam catastrophe.
Yeah. Oh.
We got ourselves a clam situation. A clam station.
Bottles, how you even there? This is an island.
Like, one thing to say about Banjo-Kazooie, and this is really a feat of how wonderful this game is I don't really even like beaches all that much.
Yeah.
Like, sure, they're great and stuff, but I'm not someone who yearns for the beach. But this is one of my favorite levels.
Like,
it's all so great.
they're just really good at that sort of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
look at all the different things you got going on. There's a lighthouse. There's the pirate ship.
Yeah, and I feel like I didn't play a lot of Nintendo 64 games as a kid that weren't the big hits.
Yeah.
And as an adult, like, found weird emulator games, like weird N64 games on emulators, and played them and realized there was so many bad games.
Oh yeah, dude. I like to think how hit or miss the games were too.
Yeah.
It was either a really good game or a really bad game. Superman 64.
Yes. Yeah. It's just so much experimenting with making 3D games in that time.
The N64 was the first. Was it the first that did it?
Basically.
Like that made it where almost every game was 3D.
Yeah, I think there was a Sega system that came before it that wasn't 64-bit, but was 32-bit, so it was like half as good 3D-wise. I don't think it was that successful, though. There's just a lot of really interesting... it's something I always talk about when I'm talking about how magical Nintendo is that so much of this art form is just things they invented. It's like,
Yeah.
so much of video games is just stuff Nintendo thought up. And I mean, it's not like it's one guy or one part of that corporation, but like just the umbrella of Nintendo itself has so much to give credit to.
Yeah. I feel like that's a reason too why people can say, oh yeah, like Xbox versus PlayStation, but like you never really hear Nintendo in that category because you can't really compare it.
Not anymore, really.
Yeah.
At least I don't really think of it like that.
Like it's sort of just in its own with its Smash Bros. And
Yeah. Like, I don't know how many other people felt this way, but when the new systems came out, I was like, oh, well, I'm going to get a Wii U, but I don't know if I want an Xbox One or PS4.
yeah.
I'll have to weigh the pros and cons of those two, but I never really like thought, well, I'll get a Wii U, but no PlayStation 4 or something. It's kind of like separate.
Even whenever I got my Xbox One, I waited like 4 months after it came out. I was just really sort of, oh, dude, look at that bucket. Leaky.
We're gonna poop eggs into it because
dude.
that solves its leakage problem.
Brazzer presents. But I waited to buy mine because I just didn't really see a reason to buy an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Until eventually enough titles got on it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Come on. Okay. Give me that top castle jazz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get them notes. Oh, is it because your name's Banjo?
Because
Is that why you're collecting notes?
probably.
That's awesome. Oh, you spell. Do you have to spell out Banjo and Kazooie?
No, this is he. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
At least it doesn't reset. I thought I was gonna say like, nope, do it all again in the same time limit.
God, dude, it gave you time.
It is only the second level.
That's true. I still love just how much, like, as a kid, first time playing this, you did not ever know what to expect going into a new level.
Yeah.
That's one thing I loved about it, Super Mario 64, is that what it was called?
Mm-hmm.
Like, games like these, just, it's all about the adventure.
Yeah. Exploring.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
It's kind of a big part of. I think that's a lot to do with the fact that these were like the first 3D games.
Yeah.
It's just like, but really great how much they lean into that design-wise. Like, they know that's the most exciting thing about playing these games, and that's why so many of the puzzles are designed like that.
Can we just take a moment to, like,
Talk about how dramatically I'm killing all the crabs.
like, well, no, not even that. Just how, like, whenever I saw that crab all locked up, I was like, that guy must be a badass. Sam's about to have to at least hit him 3 times. No. You killed him just like any other crab.
The ground pound's like a shortcut.
Like,
It does 2 damage, I think.
I thought that was about to be like a thing, and nah.
Throwdown of the century.
I just realized too that bucket just straight up absorbed everything from up there.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense.
You just pooped in it, and then it was like, okay.
He wasn't even at like eye level, or wasn't even like part of that pond.
Oh, dude, that thing is weird. Oh, other crab like has unfinished business.
Nipper.
Oh, look at how happy it is. Oh. Rawr, you hurt Nipper. His name's Nipper.
Nip, nip.
Yoo-hoo!
I wish Nipper spoke in only words that rhymed with nip.
Dip,
Zip,
chip,
zip,
dip.
nip, gonna dip your chip.
Dip chip.
Ow, that's not how he sounded before. Dude. For some reason, I thought I saw like the textures on the wall, and I thought there was like graffiti written on it. It's like, damn, these crabs own this shit.
Where did Nipper go? Just like jumps in here and he's gone.
He retreated into his other shell.
Like there's other crabs in here too. Nipper having a party.
Yeah, very weird. There's more small crabs inside of the large crab. I think there's something behind it. Yeah.
Oh, dude, isn't there a shark here?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that, dude. I hate sharks.
You're gonna love this.
I remember getting terrified as a child from that animated shark. Oh, he gets you. Lovely. Give me a little taste.
He's a connoisseur of bear.
Dude, could you imagine a bear and a shark just fighting in the ocean? I actually give that to the shark because of the home field advantage.
I think that's reasonable. Oh, I'm almost dead.
Dude.
There's a honeycomb over here.
Oh, look, even his picture changed. Look at how, like, tired they are. Don't you want to make them feel better?
I like the like second or third face where they're just kind of they're like, oh, and they're kind of like, I guess, and then they're like, now they're kind of like, yay, well, good. And then the last one, they're like, oh, God, yes.
It all feels so good.
Nothing is wrong in the world.
They're so carefree and happy while murdering everything here. Is the only way to leave a place to, like, finish it?
No, you can leave on, like, the platform you come in on.
Oh, okay.
anytime.
I was curious if, like, they were just like, yeah, you're committed to this.
Never leave.
Why you going? Are you going back up there?
There's something over here.
Oh. It's pretty impressive she can carry a bear.
Kazooie doesn't get enough credit. You're right. Coming for you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh!
This be Gruntilda's booty. Touch it if you dare.
Dude, they make cake pops, but do they make steak pops?
Probably somewhere. Texas.
Just like a little, like a lollipop stick with a chunk of beef on it. Like grilled sirloin steak.
Isn't that kind of like
wrapped in icing.
wrapped in icing? Man, it is impressive how much they cram into these, and it not feel cluttered.
Yeah, and it's all
Like
it's not a lot of area really, but it's all designed for you to just like discover little things in it.
yeah, very very
The
nice
more you
level
go.
design.
Yeah. Shit, yeah, man.
Good pick up there.
Thank you. There's another thing. Oh, God. It's like totally vertical for a second. Don't feel like that's reasonable. Oh, that was
Dude,
close.
you almost yeah. Oh, if you would have fell in, the shark would have got you. Yeah, huh? Isn't there a level with a spooky ghost?
Yeah. There's a whole level that's
Too spooky?
yeah. That's its whole thing.
Oh god.
That one's one of my favorites in this game too.
Oh, his name's Snicker. Oh, like Nipper.
I think it's Snacker.
Oh. Yeah, probably.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to hurt you.
You crushed me?
Oh. I'm so sorry.
Nah.
Who's my special guy?
I am.
You feel better? We'll throw the ball around.
Dude, does that mine like follow you?
He does.
Oh, fuck off, man.
It's the last thing you'd want.
Really? Like, just imagine just getting in a pool, mine just following you. Oh, dude, is that a 1-up?
He has a mind of its own.
Oh, fuck yeah, 1-up. Oh, God.
I was like, I thought it was a small enough fall where I'd be okay, but right towards the end there, I was like, oh no, I fucked up actually.
You felt invincible after that 1-up. Nothing can hurt me.
I'm realizing.
Oh, God, kiddo.
Okay. I'm glad we're not in the parts of the game where the honeycomb guy has a bees around him yet.
Oh, God, that sounds terrible.
They're not super hard to avoid, but they're annoying.
They're just a slight agitation.
It's enough to be a problem. Come on. Slower, man.
Look at those eyes, man.
And it's also kind of smiling.
Yeah. Maybe it's like to make us feel better as kids. Oh, he wants to be a floating skull.
I'm thinking, like, listening to the music to Banjo, that one of the main reasons I started, like, learning guitar or wanted to own a keyboard
Yeah.
was to, like, play video game music.
Like, dude, the
Specifically Banjo and, like, Zelda stuff.
top-notch soundtracks.
Yeah. And it's, like... I feel like if I were to say that to someone who, you know, didn't really like games or something, or didn't really play a lot of games, or,
Yeah.
but did like play an instrument, there'd be a lot of people who'd be like, well, that's silly. You like, how can it can't be that great or something, but like, so good. And like, I feel like I'm saying like a lot, but
Oh my God, like,
it's kind of one thing I've thought for a while is that, you know, games are important to you, especially the ones you grew up with, because those are like the stories and worlds that like really captivated you and like taught you things and
Oh yeah, yeah.
like made you who you are. And it's kind of, it's frustrating if you meet someone or talk to someone who doesn't think much of them. And it hasn't, to be honest, it hasn't been it's been a while since I've had that conversation or met someone who, didn't felt that way.
Yeah.
Who's kind of like, ooh, you play games? That's stupid. Like,
I do understand where you're coming from, like the frustration of people not really understanding why we do.
yeah.
Because like one of the like biggest games that impacted me as a kid was Ocarina of Time, like every other kid.
Yeah.
And I just loved how, Link never really stopped. He just sort of saved Hyrule because he's supposed to.
Yeah. For real.
And like,
there's so much like to those games and stories. It's just like,
yeah.
it's, what am I trying to say? Sometimes you will meet someone in your adulthood who
Killed that crab.
who like asks you like, what'd you do yesterday? And you're like, oh, not much. I just played some video games. And they're like, oh, well, that's fun. Like something small like that. That's not a big deal. And maybe they're joking around or something. But it's every time that happens to me, I'm like, oh, hey man, don't do that.
Yeah. Like one time,
it's what I love.
I was at work and one of my coworkers asked me like, "Hey, what'd you do yesterday?" And I can't remember what game just came out, but I just no-lifed, and I played it like 2 days straight without even sleeping.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, what'd you do?" And I was really excited. Tell them, "Oh, dude, I played this game for so long." And they're like, "Oh, you didn't have anything better to do?" And I was just crushed.
Yeah, it's like that's not fair. Like people read. I feel like it's really not fair to distinguish it too much from like reading a book or watching a movie. He was really close. Especially maybe reading a book is a little different and maybe that does things for your brain like logically, but different things like they do different beneficial things for you.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there's a lot of people who don't give credit to the things that are beneficial that video games have to offer that aren't always obvious, And maybe I'm just particularly sensitive to this because I feel like as a kid in like grade school, there was a lot of people who were like, stop talking about Nintendo 64 all the time. Oh, it's like, but why?
Like, I grew up in a different elementary school than you, and it was the same way.
Yeah.
Like,
and all those people also had Nintendo 64s too, though, so it was total bullshit.
Like, even, like, where I grew up, no one played games. It was like me, my neighbor David, and my brother would occasionally play with me. So it was just like,
yeah,
I just didn't talk about it. I would go home, play games for hours, and then go back to school.
Yeah. And that's like the fact that you didn't like get to talk about it, on the surface doesn't sound like a big deal, but I think also like not having that sense of validation for one of your major interests is kind of, a little harmful, just not good for you probably.
It made me feel weird.
Yeah. And then you kind of instill this, or you internalize this sense of like, oh, well, my interests aren't interesting to anyone else.
They're not.
Well, you like collecting only yellow gummy bears and taking them to gas stations. No, that's not at all something you do.
I think it's a healthy hobby to have.
That would be a very... You know what? No, that would be a really interesting hobby. I'd be like, why? Why do you do that?
For sport.
There's this guy in Sweden who does it too, and I'm totally better than him, but it's up for debate.
Dude, how's that guy even in there? Like,
it's not deep enough.
he's like hitting the ground. He's dragging his mine ass all over the place.
What's mine is yours. It's not even pertinent. It's not even...
Oh God, Sam!
Ooh, I'm missing music notes, and I have a lot of them, but I don't know if I should just let it go. I have 87.
There's God, dude.
Whoa.
You got down.
I don't think that was supposed to happen.
Oh, is that a Jiggy down there?
No, it's a honeycomb.
Oh.
I thought it was a minute ago too.
If you ground pound him, is he like, oh no, I'm so hurt? Oh,
No, he's
he's a ghost. This is the level of the ghost.
Shark is a million times scarier than regular shark.
It really is. You can't hurt it. His only weakness is that he's slow as fuck.
But I guess one thing I wanted to say a little bit though is that like at the same time I don't want to be like,
Oh, there's a note.
oh yeah, one note. At the same time I don't want to say to someone who doesn't really know a lot about games, like I don't want to say them discriminating against me, or not discriminating, but just like not understanding me for it or understanding us for it as much. I don't want to be like, well, fuck you, because it's like they probably just don't have the same like fond experiences or like important memories.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's important to accept and welcome them to have those, regardless of who they are.
All are welcome.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All are welcome, and all of you are welcome to watch the next episode, right?
Episode 4?